As the criminal trial against Donald Trump is underway for his falsification of business records in connection with his interference with the 2016 election by making hush money payments to an adult film actress, Donald Trump is absolutely freaking out. He spent the weekend posting and talking about beauty pageants and then attacking Justice Merchan and attacking witnesses and, in my opinion, violating the gag order to try to get Justice Merchan to do something that Trump can then use as a pretext to delay the criminal trial. Let me just show you Donald Trump's epic freakout right now. I mean, he is going through some things. This was Donald Trump in Pennsylvania over the weekend, whining and complaining during his stump speech that he's going to be forced to sit at the criminal trial. It's usually what happens at a criminal trial. And he says that he's going to be fully gagged, he said, which is not true. But anyway, let's play the clip and talk about it.
From now, the entire world will witness the commencement of the very first Biden trial. They're all Biden trials. You know that, right? And I'm proud to do it for you. Have a good time watching. Have a good time watching. On Monday in New York City, I will be forced to sit fully gagged. I'm not allowed to talk. Can you believe it? They want to take away my constitutional right to talk. I have a crooked judge. This has never happened before, by the way. You do know that, right? Fully gagged before a highly conflicted and corrupt judge who suffers from TDS. Does anyone know what TDS is? Correct. Trump derangement syndrome.
All right, well, you're not going to be fully gagged. You have to conduct yourself like an adult human being in a courtroom like anyone else who would be in the courtroom. You can't be there and just start engaging in this kind of cosplay WWE fascism that you do at these events. And also, you're not fully gagged. You just can't threaten and attack witnesses. You can't threaten and attack the judge's family, rather. You could still actually even criticize the judge. You just can't attack witnesses. You can't attack the judge's family. You can't attack family members of the district attorney's team. And that shouldn't even have to be put in an order. Like, even the mafia doesn't engage in those tactics. By the way, here, as part of that speech and Donald Trump continuing to freak out, he goes, I'm the most honest guy. They found nothing. Ukraine, Russia. I mean, this was one of the most bizarre and unhinged speeches at all. And he goes, I'm so honest. Again, all of this is false, but just watch this freak out. Play the clip.
I did nothing wrong from day one. I did nothing. You had Russia, you had Ukraine, you had every hoax imaginable. With all of the things they did, with millions of pages of study, they found nothing, which makes me perhaps the most honest guy almost in the world, I think. They found nothing.
And then the rest of that bizarre speech, and I'm not going to show you it again. I did a whole hot take on it. I want to show you some of the posts that he's been making leading up to this criminal trial as well. But the rest of the speech, go back and see the video I made yesterday on this, where he's not even saying words. He's just making sounds at this point, like this. Here, play this clip.
This is a magazine that I've never read, but probably doesn't like Trump. Left wing is to put it.
So then he goes on his social media platform leading up to this criminal trial, which is starting, and he goes, this is what Trump writes, I owned the Miss Universe pageant for 19 years, did very well with it, sold it to IMG at a great profit, and ran for president. It was a contest like no other, but now I have one that's even better. Who is the worst, most evil, and most corrupt judge? Would it be Judge Arthur Engoron, Judge Lewis Kaplan, or could it be that my current New York disaster judge, Juan Merchan, is the worst? They are all from violent crime without retribution filled New York, are really bad judges, are extraordinarily conflicted and unfair, and most obviously to all suffer from a rare but very lethal disease, TDS, commonly known as Trump derangement syndrome. Please reply here. You want to see what some of those replies look like, by the way. You want to see what a reply looks like on Trump media. Here, look at some of these replies. Take a look at this one and take a look at this one. I'll show you one more. I mean, how bizarre and unhinged is this? Is what the Republican Party has become today. And by the way, you know, he wants to talk about all of the money that he's made and all of the profits that he's made. Well, you didn't pay any taxes at all, and you reported massive losses as well. And I'm not really sure you want to be talking about your history with beauty pageants, where you would walk in on underage girls, or you'd brag about walking in on Miss Teen USA people, you know, getting dressed. We have audio of that. Here, let me just play that here. Play this clip.
Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, you know, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. You know, I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
like
everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? You know, they're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like.
So that's how you dealt with your beauty pageants. I'll do a whole other video on Trump and his beauty pageants. Here's another post that Donald Trump just made. Judge Juan Merchan, perhaps the most highly conflicted judge in New York State history, only gave us a short period of time to read and study hundreds of thousands of pages of documents that DA Alvin Bragg illegally hid, disguised, and held back from us. Of course, and as the judge knows, we need far more time than that. They could have started this fake Biden trial many years ago, not right in the middle of my campaign for president, and time would not be a problem. This is a blatant and unprecedented attack on crooked Joe Biden's political opponent, who is leading in every poll. Actually, that's not the case. You're actually losing in mostly all of the polls now. And President Biden is ahead in the national averages. You see that right there. Done in close coordination with the White House. Everything Donald Trump says is false. And, you know, I go back to this line that Justice Merchan said in a recent order denying Donald Trump's attempt at the 11th attempt at an adjournment in the case, where one of the things Donald Trump said is, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office is they've coerced and pressured Alan Weisselberg to plead guilty again, this time to felony perjury, as part of their elaborate plot and plan to create prejudicial pretrial publicity. And Justice Merchan said to Trump and Trump's lawyers, you're just saying false, fabricated lies. And here is what Alan Weisselberg actually stated at his when he pled guilty. And he said, I'm not being coerced. I committed the crimes. No one is pressuring me to do this. That's part of a plea deal. And Justice Merchan said, you know, you're just making up things and lying. You want to talk about what Trump's saying, that they hid and disguised documents? No, they didn't. Donald Trump, at the 11th hour to try to delay these trial proceedings, subpoenaed the Department of Justice for some additional material about Michael Cohen that Michael Cohen's been trying to subpoena for years, and Michael Cohen didn't get. And the Department of Justice then turned that over to Donald Trump, about 200, which is not the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. There's in fact no evidence that the Manhattan District Attorney's Office was involved in any way about it whatsoever. And there was only like 200 potential documents that even had anything to do with anything. That's not relevant at all. So it's just more lies and gaslighting. And that's why it's just so important that we focus on the facts. Because as I always say, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, like, the man just lies about everything, if you even want to call him that. Donald Trump then posts why Trump should win his New York hush money trial. That's what he's posting. I mean, it's post, but I'll spare you the dozens and dozens of others, but it's all like this in caps. Why didn't the Manhattan DA bring this ridiculous and lambasted case 7 years ago? This is Donald Trump threatening Michael Cohen. Has Mark Pomerantz been prosecuted for his terrible acts in and out of the DA's office? Has disgraced attorney and felon Michael Cohen been prosecuted for lying? Only Trump people get prosecuted. Yeah, Cohen went to jail. Cohen was in news alert. Cohen was put in solitary confinement. Cohen was in Otisville. Cohen served his time for committing crimes on your behalf and at your direction and for your benefit. Yes, Cohen was in jail. He was prosecuted. Then Donald Trump goes, there's no way I can be given a fair Biden trial on Monday, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's just whine. So this is how Donald Trump is spending his time leading up to this criminal trial. Again, this behavior by him, it's so babyish. It's embarrassing for us all. I don't care what political party you are. What the heck is this? I'm Ben Meiselas. This is the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million together. Have a good day.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.